for someone who's interested in participating in a clinical trial, how will their safety be protected?
So safety is obviously a high importance, as they say in the airlines, your safety is our priority. It's also the same in medical care. We certainly want everybody to be safe. And clinical trials have specific management and reporting criteria for things like side effects. So if you're on a clinical trial and a side effect emerges, typically there will be some grading of that side effect. Is it a low grade or a high grade? And, sometimes we assign numbers, grade 1, 2, 3, 4. And if those side effects occur, we try to grade them and then report them based on how the clinical trial specifies. High grade side effects obviously are taken quite seriously, and they may actually stop the clinical trial from enrolling more patients if there's a safety concern, as it should. And also, what has happened is, maybe a clinical trial is testing a drug that's been tested in several hundred or thousand patients, but now a new side effect appears to be emerging that hadn't previously been discovered. In that case, as clinical trials report their side effects, as doctors and study teams say, well, we've experienced these low grade and high grade side effects, those clinical trial documents then get updated to reflect this new side effect, new toxicity, new incidence of side effects. And then any patients who are on the study or who may be considering the study are then kept informed at their clinic visit. So if you're a patient on one of these studies and the side effects have been updated, then typically at one of your upcoming study visits, that will be discussed with you. And there's also concerns some patients have had about their confidentiality. Will my information be kept secure? So on and so forth. And there are federal requirements that safeguard data exposure and confidentiality that are required by all clinical trials. So, I think your safety is very well protected on a clinical trial. In some regards, maybe you feel this way, Dr. Atkins. We often think that you're even more highly protected on a clinical trial because you have extra high touch, with study team, with your clinical office, with the doctor, the nurse. And so multiple people kind of touching you, checking in on you, making sure they're reporting. In the real world on standard of care, the treatments are excellent, but you may not have as many visits or as many people checking in on you. So from one perspective, you could consider clinical trials to be extremely safe because of the guardrails that are in place.
Yeah, I would agree. And I think that's one of the benefits for participation in a clinical trial is that you get watched much more carefully in many cases than you would on standard of care, which often has some side effects as well, but you can't always tell who's going to get them, and you may be late in picking them up because you're not doing as much monitoring.